This is Josh and Jay's Excellent Video Game Show.
Hello, welcome to the Josh and Jay Show featuring Rowan Kaiser. I am Joshua. We've got a Jay, we've got a Rowan, we've got an excellent show. Welcome, KWTF listeners. But first, before we begin, Jay,
what's up, Josh?
We've always had a dream on this show.
Yeah.
From our humble beginnings in an Oakland apartment to now in an Oakland apartment.
Right, that's in a different Oakland apartment.
And they're not lofty dreams. Our goal
I would like a loft. I have
a loft.
A loft
nice.
in Oakland would be nice.
You do live pretty high up there, Jay. This is on the ground floor, but Jay is on like the fourth floor. So.
That's true. You're baller.
So we have de-lofted.
Hey, I'm baller.
We've always had a dream, and that dream is to someday break even.
Yeah, right. If we have a
with
dream.
Those microphones?
We have a dream to be even Steven.
The show costs money, and we don't mind paying it because we like doing it, and hopefully you guys like listening to it. But we do have a small favor to ask everybody. If you guys and gals could go to iTunes, search Josh and Jay, and rate our show. Maybe do a little review if you want. You can rate it low if you want. You can rate it high if you like the show. But it would really, really help us out. So we'll wait here while you go open up iTunes.
Play the music, Jay.
It's a pain. And give us a little review. Just search Josh and Jay in the store. You'll find us. Or you'll find those magicians.
Okay, we'll just, while you're doing that, we'll give you some nice, mellow Wrecking Crew music.
And remember,
Go
just
crush a
like the
quick
Dungeon
review.
Keeper iOS game, if you want to rate us anything other than 5 stars, you can't.
Did anybody play that thing?
No, they canned it like 2 months later.
I downloaded it.
I'm sorry.
So if I download it, I can still get it, right? Or no?
I don't know. They probably have servers.
They're probably
enough
almost
time,
done.
right?
Don't worry about it.
That's enough time.
Just like a couple more seconds.
I mean, what kind of reviews do we want here? We just want, 8 out of 10, best podcast in its genre. Like an 8 out of 10.
That would be cool. I wonder if is that the first time I've ever played a drop over a drop? Anyway.
I didn't even know you could play drops over drops.
Yeah.
Drops over drops. I'm dropping drops over these drops.
Game respect game.
A milestone in Josh and Jay's formerly excellent video game podcast.
It is
featuring
formerly
Rowan
excellent. That's a good way to describe it.
That may be our most boring intro, but it is very, very important. It would really help us out because we would like to someday make just enough money to cover our server costs and hosting costs.
Yeah. And
Maybe
beer costs.
on to the
Beer,
video
street
games.
What you playing?
What you playing? Oh,
yeah.
I mean, if you could ask me, my answer is everything.
Yeah.
Because I put a new video card in my computer.
Oh, that's right.
That happened since last episode.
How long, Rowan, have we been telling this guy? He comes in, his stuff doesn't work, and we go, probably need a new video card.
You gave me this video card like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a good video card.
Yeah.
Still worked.
Yeah.
But then you had another one that was a little better. You gave to me. I pop it out. Have this one lying around for a few more weeks. Then we're just like, Jay, God damn it. Take this video card, stick it in, and see if it fucking works.
Now, keep in
I've already
mind,
done it.
the one that I just gave you,
Yeah.
because I went crazy and bought one too early. like one should not upgrade a video card as much as I just did.
Right.
I just lost my
Josh
mind.
has bought 9 video cards in the last 6 months.
You should be good for about 3 years. But
You went with like a year and a half.
yeah. So that one I offered to Jay
He did.
first behind your back.
I didn't
and
want to believe that my new quote-unquote gaming PC needed a upgraded video card.
But remember, Jay, it's not just a new gaming PC. It's your first gaming PC.
That became apparent after I did the swaparoo.
So how's it? How are things going now?
Well, first, let me just give a quick rundown of the experience of swapping out my video card, because it's been a while since I dealt with any stuff like this, and basically I cracked open my case, and it's pretty simple. It's not that hard to deal with if that's
all
the
nice
only
in
thing
there.
you're doing. It is
because they built it, right? So all the cords are all
well. All the cords were smashed in between the frame and the case, like in the back, like smushed and like it's all wound up in one twist tie.
That's how they do it,
And-
Foxconn.
Yeah. And they got it smashed right there in the back. So I kind of had to. It was all smushed, like basically within an inch of my hard disk, like my hard drive.
So you couldn't pull it out. Right?
Well, I mean, it's like we could go in there for after the bullet, but we could hit his heart,
Right,
and
yeah.
we don't want to kill him,
Right.
So if he's not dead right now, we don't want to
like unscrew your hard drive and pull it. Like, did you have to pull out more stuff from inside to get to it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have to pull out my hard drive, or I didn't want to pull out my hard drive because I didn't want to even touch it.
I remember you texting me about this problem, and you were really frustrated. And then I got a text later that said like everything was cool, but I don't understand exactly what you did.
Yeah, the text messages that we got were like this increasing state of panic.
Very bipolar. And it was bipolar that led up to total devastation, followed by absolute euphoric triumph.
And I recall sending him something along the lines of, okay, this is possible that you can just do this in 15 minutes and it'll be fine.
Sure.
But the most likely worst case scenario is 2 hours of frustration and it'll be fine.
Oh, that's right. We should go back a little because, yeah, you're right. Because Jay found out how the internet works. So when he Googled how to switch from AMD to NVIDIA? ATI to NVIDIA.
Yeah.
You have two branches. One is just switch it.
Right.
It's fine.
Which is us,
and some of the internet, or the other part of the internet that has like a 12-page PDF on all the things you need to do.
Well, that's telling me that I need to download like some
viruses,
some disk sweeper that's like, because you need to remove any trace of these drivers from wherever. I'm like, sure, that sounds technical enough that I believe it. And
I mean, that thing, I have used that thing, but I used it like 6 months later. I just like randomly came across and I was like, oh, hey, that seems like a good idea. I might still have some of that ATI stuff on my computer, but I was just switch and see.
Sure.
And, PC building and gaming, like, if you were doing this in the 1990s, like, you needed those PDFs, but you couldn't download the PDFs because your PDF reader was, slightly too old or slightly too new.
And Windows would not have the driver you needed, so you needed to have like a floppy disk with the drive the drivers you needed also, because your internet wouldn't work once you replaced the thing.
Or if you were, using DOS, you had to have the floppy with the updated autoexec.bat and config.sys.
See, I kind of remember that stuff, and that's why I didn't want to touch my computer, because it had been that long since I messed with anything.
Windows has got you covered for
and I didn't fall...
DirectX does not get enough praise for actually, working.
Okay. Anyway, I didn't really fall down this weird rabbit hole of really having to dig
You
deep
just
into
pulled it
any
out and
system.
switched it, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, you just pop it into the PCI slot or whatever. It's not that big a deal. Although, as soon as I pulled my old video card out and I was like, this new video card takes up 2 slots and mine only took up 1, I'm like, that's probably a good sign that it's a better card.
Right? Yeah. It has
bigger.
Auxiliary power that you never needed
Well,
before.
it's got like its own fans.
Yeah.
Like the fans are built into the card itself. That's how... it looks like very Mad Max or something.
It's a sturdy video card. It's sturdier than the one that Josh gave me.
Well,
Yeah.
it turns out that my Steam library just got twice as big.
Wait, how'd you get those cords out of there, dog?
Oh, well, I finally got them out, and then when I booted everything back up, I got the old disk read error black screen. And that's when I just about, crap myself. And
So this is
and
actually...
you actually texted me the most reassuring thing, which was like, don't worry about it. Something probably just came loose when you were messing around in there. Just go back in and make sure all the connections are secure. And all I did was I opened it up, and I was like, it's the stupid hard disk that was all around all those stupid wires. And yeah, I just kind of, just jiggled it a little bit, did whatever, just made sure stuff was secure, and then slapped the cover back on, and I was I was back in business.
Who Kirk Hamilton is?
Former friend of the show.
Kotaku blog? He wrote a thing about building a PC for Kotaku.
Oh yeah, that was great.
It was great, except for one part at the end when he's like, "And the wonderful click when you hit the power button for the first time and everything turns on." And I was like, "That has never the golden child over here. Just everything he touches works out. Like that has never happened to me ever. It always just you hit the power button and you'll nothing ever because I always knock something loose. I always have to go back.
You forgot to connect the power cables.
Yeah.
The power thing box.
I just thought I want my headphones to be louder, and Jay turned them up.
Well, I did it for a different reason, but I also because I could read your mind.
All right.
So anyway,
That must have helped you when you were doing SWOTOR.
it did. It helps a lot. It's a Jedi mind meld.
Jedi Mind Meld seems accurate.
It just occurred to me, are you still playing SWOTOR like every night?
No,
oh, okay.
Come on.
That would be so weird if you were. What if he was just like, so I got to level 60 in SWOTOR.
It would be one of those things where you're like, where if you found out that the person was like cheating on you by playing that, but it's the kind of thing where you're like relieved. You're like, oh, good. I've been waiting for an excuse to like break up with this like this thing. Thank you for giving me a good reason.
You and Chuck are like doing raids every night. I'm like, what? You are?
And then it's just me and Josh doing the podcast. It's the Josh and Rowan Excellent Video Game Show.
Walking simulator.
Speaking of walking simulators, did you guys hear that Gone Home is coming to Wii U?
No.
Gone Home is coming to Wii U, so you can throw coffee mugs using the touch screen. How cool is that? Now it's really a game.
Now it's
Like an 8 out of 10.
it is. It's really a game.
I S-ranked that game.
Forget the mouse, man. You just go whoosh,
But yeah,
motion controls.
Well, we talked about the way you S-rank that game is by putting all the mugs in one in one cabinet.
No,
I thought we said that on this show. Maybe it was a
I've never
totally
heard
different
that, but-
conversation that I had. But
I think the S rank of that game was on your first playthrough, you figure out that the uncle had molested your father or whatever.
I took a wrong turn very early in that game
God,
and ended
Rowan.
up at the ending
Spoiler.
by accident.
well, all right, real
I
quick,
think.
since we're not talking about my PC anymore, which
If
is
you run
fine.
through and just click everything as fast as you can like get...
There is like a hidden
It's like up in the attic or no.
No, there's a when you walk in, there's like the stairs, and to the right of this, like what you do is you kind of go up and left and around and down, and then you end up to the right of the stairs, and there's like a panel there that you can click on, and that'll take you to the attic finally.
Yeah, I think that's what I did. something
So
like that.
if you manage to hit that first, you can finish the game in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I did something like that, and I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know what that game was about, but it was fun. I liked it.
Whoa.
That was weird.
We are experiencing technical...
One moment, please.
Houston.
Guess we're back. That was strange, though. Let's just pretend it didn't happen.
So which one of us just got possessed?
Your Steam library is larger now.
Well, I mean, the amount of games that I am interested in has grown at least twofold because there were so many games that I was like, my computer can't really
You've
play
got all
it that
your
well,
Ps
and I'm
now.
too embarrassed to say it. No, I got all my fraps now, and all my Ps.
You got your P's and your fraps.
Got my P's and my fraps.
proud of you.
Gone Home. Oh
proud
man,
of him.
Gone Home is actually a little bit of an unexpectedly resource-intensive game.
Yeah, it is, actually.
And
It's
now,
got all those different things that you move around.
man, I can have like lesbian compassion at 60 frames a second.
No, I was talking to my buddy Couch, and before he upgraded his computer recently, I told him to check out Gone Home because he likes
Walking simulators.
walking simulators. He likes art.
Walking simulator.
And he's a game developer, but he said he couldn't run it because it was too intense.
Yeah, it was kind of hardcore.
It's
Yeah.
like Unreal 3.
Yeah, stick to Proteus casual.
I S-ranked Proteus. Chillin' game.
You killed 100 frogs and the Frog King appeared?
No, I never. I didn't even know.
You know what though? Real
I
quick,
think I made the season change.
real quick, while we're on the topic of Gone Home, because it's sort of related in the super awesome people that worked at 2K working on BioShock
Gone Home 2.
going off to do their own thing.
Oh yeah, what was that? I saw an announcement, but I didn't click.
Well, there was an article, I think it was on
Kotaku blog? I don't
And-
click anymore. I get clicks.
It's called the Black Glove.
What is it?
Well,
it a walking
it's
simulator?
made by a team that branched off of the BioShock team. Some dudes that worked on BioShock and BioShock Infinite.
Dude, it'd be funny if it was like everybody but Ken Levine. Like one time I was in a band and we wanted to get rid of one guy, so we broke up the band and then just got the band back together.
Yeah, I remember that was me. I was that guy. Like you guys broke up the band, and then you got back together without me, and then played my song.
Actually, that's all true.
This is also what happened with the podcast and Taylor, right?
It was yeah. No.
No. Yes.
No, Mr. Taylor Cock has been a valued and respected guest on the show. Well, maybe that's going too far, but he's been a guest.
On.
Another former Irrational game I found out checking out the RimWorld blog. That's a former.
We're not done with this one yet.
Yeah,
I was just bringing it up in the conversation. We don't have to go talk about RimWorld for 20 minutes.
Put it on the chalkboard.
Yeah, if it's not on the chalkboard, Rowan, I don't know what you're doing.
No, we are going to talk about RimWorld for the second hour.
Yeah,
and the third hour,
and the third, and the fourth hour.
So the Black Glove is a sort of it looks like a mystery, more of like an adventure game, similar to Gone Home. They said it has no combat or anything like that, and the way that they made it sound, as far as being sort of surreal and defying normal laws of time and physics and stuff like that it had some influences in sort of David Lynch and other surrealist, creators' work. And so I saw Leah Alexander tweet about it and say something about Twin Peaks and how easy it is to get her excited about.
Oh, that's right. That's
but
what
just
I was
by
seeing.
mentioning Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I was like, it looks like Gone Home, but instead of the house in Gone Home, it's the Black Lodge from Twin Peaks, and that just sounds so good to me.
So it's Kentucky Gone Home.
It's Kentucky.
What?
Yeah, Kentucky Gone Home,
which is like Jay Catnip, Tumescent, whatever.
Catnip Tumescence.
I think I guess there's our title.
The name of the show, the episode. But it does. It looks really cool. It has to do with I don't know if it's a murder mystery necessarily, but it involves like manipulating time or using this room or wherever you are as being able to sort of move in and out of periods of time to affect sort of narrative change.
How far along is it? Were people playing it?
They have enough that they've got like the bare bones of it. I don't think there's anything playable yet, but they announced that they're going to have a Kickstarter for it soon. I think so. I'm sort of keeping my eye out so I can throw all my money.
Pretty
at
excited about the idea that there's a cool game that might have a Kickstarter.
2015, year of the video games.
Yeah. I thought that was 2012.
No, 2015.
Okay.
Wasn't 2012 the year of the bow?
Well, 2015. You're right.
Yeah.
2015 has to be the year of the video game because 2014 is the year the video game died. Right?
2014 was the game the video games got pushed to 2015. Like all games except for Dragon Age.
That's not true. There's some more. Some more games coming up that I'm excited about. Oh, at the end of September, there's the new Sherlock game.
What okay? What
which
else
looks super rad.
Yeah, we're all pumped. What else are you excited about?
I think that should be a drop.
and then within I think a week of that coming out, there's this other really cool detective-y game.
Shadows of Mordor.
No, that's not it. It's called The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and it's going to be like I think it's a PC only $20 Steam game.
Okay, but are you excited about any real video games?
Josh, don't play with my emotions. This is a real video game.
Massive Chalice.
This is real to me. This is real.
I think I might get Dragon Age on PC. Yes. It's going to be hard to do that, though. Because EA Access thing, I think, lets me check it out 5 days early on Xbox.
Yeah, and it's not like you got a fraud like protection lockdown on your card from trying to play a game 8 hours early by rerouting your stuff
that was
through
Diablo.
like the UK.
I have problems. Okay, I wanted to play Diablo and it didn't come out till midnight. So
you think you can not play a game 5 days ahead of time if you have the opportunity?
Oh.
5 days is a pretty long time.
Here's the rub, though.
I mean, it's like 10 times longer than you got.
Yeah, but it's kind of bullpucky because I looked into what they mean by that, and it's like a timed thing. It's not like you just get it early. Like you can play it.
So like you can do like the tutorial.
It's like a demo.
So
yeah.
it's a timed exclusive pre-release demo?
Yeah.
That sounds rad.
Hey, man.
But if you get it on PC, we can do raids together.
And I could VPN into Australia and play it 5 hours early.
Rowan, can't you get a PS4 like for your
Why would
column
you, no,
for
get an
for your
Xbox.
new
What are you
job?
talking
Can't you
about?
just say it's
Xbox.
like important?
I mean, eventually I might get a PS4, but I'm still getting Dragon Age on PC. I'm not an idiot.
Here's the thing.
I want to use the mouse for tactical combat. Like, hello.
If you get a
Whoa,
PS4,
buddy.
you can write that off now, like for sure. Well, you probably always could, but now
Yeah,
you have like a. Do it.
I have less than an excuse now, really. But yes,
No.
I could.
You would get a PS4 over an Xbox One?
Isn't that obvious?
That's really weird to me.
Like, I mean, it'll depend on if
Well, your internet's really slow, so you want you can't really use the internet. So the PS4 is
I just learned how.
the PS4 is kind of like a PS2. It's like a more powerful PS2, so
which is perhaps the best system ever for having a bunch of games to play.
the PS2 was okay.
Sega Soccer Slam, hello.
Yeah,
Like an 8 out of 10.
it's pretty good.
Xbox One isn't doing so well.
Sorry, Josh. Sorry, man.
I get it.
Sorry,
I
man.
get it.
All that matters is that you like it, though, dude.
I like it.
I like that you like it.
And when Halo 5
Why
comes
doesn't
out,
everybody else like it?
you know,
understand.
killer app. Everyone's going to get one when Halo 5 comes out.
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone's going to get one when they release all the Halos in October.
Maybe, yeah.
How many people do you think are going to sell their Xbox Ones when Destiny comes out on?
Why would they sell their
PS4.
Xbox One? You can pre-order Destiny right now on Xbox One.
Yeah, but doesn't it come out on PS4 before Xbox One? They come out on the same day?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
never
like some
mind then.
beta stuff that you could play early.
Would it?
It's Bungie, dude.
Yeah.
Don't believe the PlayStation
Well,
lies.
I'm not gonna end up playing Destiny. I played the alpha for free, and then I barely played the beta, and now I'm not gonna play the full game.
Until everyone's talking about it on Twitter and you do.
Nah, I don't think it's. The only thing that could get me into that game is if Josh gets a PS4 and is playing it on
Nope.
PS4, and then like Chuck and Stu from Unwinnable are like, you know,
Let's go.
I'm gonna have a PS4 someday, but there's just nothing. There's no for either system. There's no like thing. There's no reason to have both right now. There's a
Yeah.
reason to have one because it's a new thing, but there's no reason.
And Destiny,
Destiny's on both.
but not on PC, so that's pretty much it. Video games.
What were we talking about? RimWorld.
Video games.
Oh, actually, we're gonna take a quick break.
okay.
Come on over, baby. Time to figure out. Dreaming of the reason. What'll bring you around? I'm wide awake. Wide awake. I'm wide awake.
Welcome back.
Okay, let's rein it in a little bit.
Did you guys hear about the new? Speaking of, so we were talking about the Xbox, which you guys don't care about or own. The new.
I have an Xbox.
Yeah, I have an Xbox too.
No, like the new one. And then what about
I
the
have
new
your Xbox.
What about the new 3DS?
Yeah, I just saw that last night.
Yeah. Who saw that coming?
And it's like they have a new one that only some games will work on that new one.
It
and
only
they won't
plays
work
the
on all.
Xenogear Chronicles or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Xenoblade.
it. Yeah, I mean, does Nintendo think that mid 1990s Sega is a really great company to emulate?
No, but they think Apple is.
Apple doesn't.
They-
I guess
they-
Apple kind of does that.
They
but
came out with their iPad and they called it the new iPad. And it was just a more powerful iPad that would have some stuff that wouldn't play on the old iPad.
Yeah, but usually that's more tied to the operating system.
Yeah.
Jay, your thoughts?
I think we just got Jay's thoughts.
How many Nintendo DSs are there?
Well, normally there's a bunch, but normally they're all like backwards compatible. And
Yeah, they all
it's like-
play the games that are supposed to be played on that system.
right. This has a second analog stick and supposedly more powerful.
I feel like they come out with a new DS every year.
They do, but it still plays
it's
if
the
you
same
get
thing, though.
if you buy a DS game, you can play that on the original DS, the DS Lite. I think there was another DS.
Yeah, it's like the Xbox Slim usually.
Yeah.
or PlayStation
Yeah,
Slim.
yeah, that's because they came
This
out
is
with
like
like the
a-
DS XL or whatever.
this is
So
like a
this
new
is
DS.
like the DS 32X.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it is backwards
the
compatible.
DS Saturn.
just not
Yeah.
forwards compatible. Like,
Right.
My 3DS games will not run on the new 3D.
No, your
backwards,
3DS your 3DS will not run the new games.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like that thing that you just pop like the new cartridge thing on top of the old.
Well, no,
DS
because you
system.
just have to get this DS system.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm assuming that they're gonna. If they are following the Apple thing, I assume they're just gonna eliminate the 3DS, and this is just going to replace it, right? It'll just be this is what you can buy now.
It's Nintendo. Who knows?
They're so weird. They're so weird.
Nintendo.
Did you hear about how they were putting a Pokemon game on the iPad?
The card game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of downplayed it, and you said that card game is actually like super huge.
Yeah. The card game, it was a huge deal in the 90s. I don't know if it's the same game, but Pokemon card game has a like historical value, and
And is that game not on anything else?
I think it's only on tablets. Might only be on the iPad.
I saw that there is a new game that is combining Pokemon and Tekken
Yeah, that's
Called-
another.
called Pokken.
By like officially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo's so weird.
And they're putting Link in Mario Kart.
What?
Yeah, and a BMW or something.
Yeah, that already came out,
Oh,
the
okay.
Mercedes thing. But they announced a Hyrule expansion for Mario Kart coming
Cool.
out in like 5 months or something. I don't know. I don't have the Mario Kart, so I wasn't paying
But
too much
Mar-
attention to the detail.
2014, the year Nintendo learns about DLC.
Yeah, it definitely is. But also, like, Mario Kart's one of those games that just has, like, the longest legs of any game ever. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's still, like, the one for DS is still selling, like, gangbusters. So.
Well, I think people think that's like generally the best one.
I really like the new one.
Yeah, I think people really like the new one too. But yeah, they announced that they're going to have Zelda characters in Mario Kart, and
They're
I
just throwing things at a board right now. Like,
But, I mean-
but they always
Josh.
do. They've always been weird. They're
Josh, do you care?
so weird.
yeah, I mean,
Rowan,
like,
do you care?
I have a fondness for Nintendo. I mean,
is
don't we all?
there any reason that it shouldn't be Super Smash Kart?
No.
Like, why the hell not put
Yeah.
all the Nintendo characters in it?
Throw the Wii Fit girl in there.
Okay, maybe not the Wii Fit girl. That's weird.
It's not. No, the Wii Fit girl's in
She's
Smash
in-
Bros.
I know
Yeah.
she is.
And she's in that they're coming out with these figures, like Skylander-ish figures that they just announced a date for. So everyone's like, well, everyone,
So Nintendo has finally figured out
People-
that other companies can make money.
right?
I guess.
I want that new 3DS.
I with my job monies at some point, I think I will get one of those shiny objects for hands.
By the time that thing's out, the library for the 3DS is it's a great deal. I mean, there's a lot of good 3DS games. Plus, I really want to play that Xenoblade Chronicles someday.
One day.
Didn't you emulate it?
Yeah, but it's too wonky. It's too PC.
You had to swap the
Master
video card
Race,
out.
Master Race.
Yeah, I didn't have Jay's fraps.
You gotta get a new video card, man. I'm telling you.
I don't
It's
need a
really
new video card.
It's really cool.
The last thing I need is a new video card.
It's really
No,
cool.
you don't need to get a new video card. You need to get a second one of the one you have, so you can dual video card.
I got
thing.
all the fraps.
Well,
now.
you know what it especially helped with is playing through this Risen 3 game.
You want to talk
Is-
about video games
is-
that you're
is Ri-
playing?
Is Risen 3 still a thing?
Yeah.
I thought that got canceled. I don't hear anyone talking about it anymore.
How many hours have you put into that game?
Steam says that I am at like 16 hours, but that seems low to me. It feels like about 200 to 300.
I think
1,000.
I have more hours than you in that game.
Probably. You started before I did.
Yeah, but I stopped.
That's true. But I actually haven't been able to play it a lot like this past week.
Okay, so you haven't finished it.
No, I'm nowhere near. I'm getting really freaking frustrated with this game.
I don't like playing it so much anymore.
Yeah, me neither. I have to, though.
I went and played a couple hours this morning because I knew you were playing it, and I thought you were like way ahead of me, so I was trying to catch up. So I finished I don't know what I finished, actually. I don't know if it's like the main quest or what, but it seemed like a big deal.
Could be.
I don't know if it's my guild quest or the main quest. I destroyed a crystal at the end.
Might be.
Okay.
Might be both. Might be one.
It seemed like a big deal. Everybody like acted like it was a big deal around me.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been just a side quest that's easily missable.
Do you find that when you get hit by an enemy, you then get hit 2 more times by that enemy?
Oh, all right. Real quick, regarding the combat, here's some things that you gotta do. I assume you're still rolling melee, and you've not gotten into the muskets and world of muskets and shotguns.
Have been, as of just today, I realized that I can shoot the hell out of dudes, and it's super fun with the pistol.
Oh, the pistol's great.
Yeah, I just roll and shoot, roll, shoot.
So then what you should do is upgrade is it your cunning that dictates your pistol?
Oh, yeah. I'm up. Trust me, I'm upgraded.
So then the other thing you need to do is talk to trainers who can upgrade your pistol like abilities.
Jay, who are you talking to?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So with the sword play, there's 2 main. I haven't really engaged that much with the pistol trainers, but regarding sword play, there are 2 main like abilities you need to learn.
The riposte.
That's one. Yes. The riposte.
Yeah.
You got to learn that.
Riposte.
You got to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if an enemy tries to swipe you and you just hit block on instinct to try to block it,
you do the
thing automatically, and it's cool because it's got some nice little animation.
I always get it. I usually get it the second time if I miss the first hit.
Yeah. It's not as hard as Dark
any
Souls.
other game.
Yeah.
I can do it in this game.
The window is reasonable for when you can whatever they call that. It's like, how you have like a little bit of a window.
I guess it's easier in Black Flag actually.
Anyway, I mean, I think it's forgivable because the collision is so ridiculous in this game that they're just like, let's leave it wide open. I mean, it's not like you can really tell when someone's...
They don't do the thing in Black Flag when there's 5 guys around you and you engage one. The other ones will kind of leave you alone.
Yeah, it's like like West Side Story. Like they're like, yeah, come on, let's get ready.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, they got to do one on one. When if they would all come at you at the same time,
it would suck.
Yeah, you would be done,
as it does in Risen 3.
Yeah, as it does in Risen 3.
However, what's the other one besides riposte?
The other one besides riposte is is the you can learn an ability that just makes you swing your sword faster. So
I don't have that.
Yeah,
I need that because my sword.
Yeah, you need that.
The enemy's like
what? All right, so here's what it does: is that if you are facing off against an enemy and you both hit that attack button at the same time, whereas before the computer would be like, "Oh, tie goes to me because I'm the computer because it's my game and I say who the tie goes to." Yeah. If it's not a tie, once you have this ability, you always hit them first. And
that's
so
great because what happens to me if I don't do the riposte, then I'll go to swing, but then they swing faster and hit me, and then I go to swing, and then they swing faster and hit me, and then I go to swing, and then they swing faster. Well, it's always 3 times.
All right, the first thing I do as soon as I get hit once is I mash the X button on an Xbox 360 controller,
which is the warp button for me.
The warp button.
Yeah, what clan you in, dog?
Warp.
Yeah, what clan are you in, dog?
I'm not in a clan yet.
What? Of the 3?
Yeah.
That's like the first thing the dude tells you on the boat is like, go join a clan.
Yeah, but I haven't been to all the islands yet.
Neither have I.
So who did you join?
The Demon Hunters.
Was that like the first island you went to?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just haven't decided yet. Because I want to meet them all and then make.
So you don't have magic.
All right, this actually brings me.
You don't have magic.
I don't have magic.
Son,
I know. Listen, this is why this game sucks right now.
can't wait to read your review.
Let me...
Genuine enthusiasm.
Let me tell you though, that all right, the way I play. All right, here's the way I play RPGs. I go to a location and I play the ever loving stuff out of it. Like I squeeze it dry of missions, of everything I can do on that island.
Yes, me too.
Unless it says you need to go do this thing somewhere else first and then come back. So I sort of, all the quests that are like 2-parters or whatever, I set those aside. But everything else, I want to finish it. I want to finish it all and then move on because that feels the most efficient to me. And the more that I play this game, the more I realize that the newer stuff they added totally makes that strategy like not very pragmatic. And in fact, can totally screw you over.
I'm going to be honest with you here. And this, I don't know when this happens. In most games, this doesn't happen. I don't know what it wants me to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it wants me to stay on the island and finish all the quests. I don't know if it wants me to jump around to all the islands. I know that I hate the boat combat in that game, the ship combat, like with a passion.
I haven't done that.
It sucks.
I don't have my ship yet.
What?
I don't have any of this stuff yet. Patty is sitting.
This is
Patty is sitting on the beach of freaking wherever
Yeah,
Keela or
yeah.
whatever, and she's like, "I won't come on the boat until you've got a bigger boat." And
no, I should go pick her up. But here's the thing: it's because it's hard to know what to do in this game. Like,
it is.
It wants
Welcome to Eurojank.
It wants
Yeah.
you to have joined a guild and gotten a boat.
Do you remember the beginning of Witcher or Witcher 2 that did not tell you like how the hell to do anything?
The old beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Eurojank.
Yeah. But at least
Try some today.
But The Witcher is basically a straight line. You know, this is not. This is an open world game.
That's true. That is the difference. You're right. Witcher is, for the most part, it's on really like wide rails, but it's on rails.
In the first 10 minutes of that game, or 20 or whatever, once I got to my first real island, I got missions all over the whole map. On every island.
Yeah, so there's no way to know where you're supposed to go first. I don't think you are supposed to go anywhere in particular first, but
I do. I think you're supposed to go join a guild and get a boat. Like, I think that's the first thing.
right, that's the first thing you're supposed to do. But in order to do that, you have to visit every place if you want to figure out which faction you want to join.
But that was screwing me up before. So, see, this is what happened. I talked about in the last podcast. I got scared because I went to the first place and I did a bunch of stuff, and then I wanted to go check out the other islands.
Yeah, and you were like, guess what? You're in this mission.
Yeah, because the missions are timed, like, they must be timed. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's random. It seems like, okay, once you have gone to 6 different places, doesn't matter if you go back and forth between 2 or 6 new ones,
Okay.
it's time for this huge non-skippable battle that I was not prepared for. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to stay.
Did you already get your big ship at that point?
Yeah, it was like, 'cause you need
Okay,
the ship to...
so that's I've probably done like over half the game, but haven't done that part yet because I don't have my ship.
Oh,
which
but you
is
can
weird.
still go around to all the islands.
Yeah,
that's killer.
See, so I'm in a weird way.
You S-ranked it.
Well, no, but I'm gaming it in a way that I'm not meaning to game it, and it's screwing it up because I'm not doing it on purpose.
But you're also not progressing forward with whatever it thinks the story is, which
But apparently I am, because you know the ghost guy that you get who's a part of your crew?
No, because I only roll with the one dude. I haven't picked up my crew. I have two party members. One is Bones.
Yeah.
And the other's this guy on my ship.
That's it?
Who's a demon hunter. Yeah, because I didn't do any of those missions. I don't want any other
because
party
you
members.
Oh, weird.
I just want to roll with Bones. So I didn't.
Well,
I don't go see Patty. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Oh, that's...
Because my thing was
that feels like you have to do that. In my playthrough, it feels like you have to do that.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm like, how do you...
This is like 2 different games.
Okay, you guys, you're both playing it wrong. What you need to
are.
do is you go and get the shouts at the top of the mountain first, and then you just do whatever quest you want. Okay,
Yeah.
but you want to have the shouts because it isn't complete
First
until
you
you've
join
got
the Thieves Guild and you do the most awful part of that game, which is those random Thieves Guild quests where you have to do like 5 in each main city, and they
You guys
hand them out
got it.
randomly.
You can't go into Skyrim
can't
now.
beat
I'm
the
gonna
thieves.
go crazy.
Okay.
Why
But-
would anyone even start with the Thieves Guild quest? Those
Don't
are
let
so
Rowan
annoying.
sidetrack the Risen
Because I
conversation
eat
into
my vegetables
Skyrim,
first,
Josh.
and then
He's
I eat my pork
baiting you.
chop.
He's baiting you so hard right
I
now.
don't eat pork chops.
You're taking it, taking the bait.
Because you know what? The
Trap's
fade.
coming
It's like
down.
the fade. You want to do the fade.
Yeah, throw Dragon Age in there too.
You want to get the worst part over with so you can enjoy
I thought
what
the
is.
deep roads were the worst part.
I don't know. That's where I always quit.
No, the fade is the worst. Come on, nothing's worse than the fade.
Okay, so Jay,
I just remember people talking crap about the deep roads.
I'm where I am in this game because I've played it like you play. When I got to the Demon Hunters, they said, "Oh, join us," and I said, "Okay," because I did a little research online and decided that I wanted to join them because they were the new one.
A little research online. Yeah, I'm using a guide too. Don't worry.
No, it's not a guide. It was a guide for this game. Oh, you need for like crafting and all that stuff.
Everything.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to know which guild to join, so I joined the Demon Hunters because they were the new thing, not from Risen 2. So
here.
but wait. Listen. So when I joined
Okay.
the guild, then I played like how you were saying you play these games. They were like, okay, rise up in the guild. Here are quests to rise up in the guild. So I was like, okay, that's my jam. So that led me to get the boat and do all this other stuff. But I don't know if that's like the main mission or that's just a side guild thing.
It's all part of the main mission. Well, the main mission is the same story from Dragon Age Origins.
Do you have to close crystal doors?
Did you notice that?
The main mission was inside you all along.
Yeah, instead of gathering the you have to gather all these like different boat captains together.
Yeah.
So it's Skies of Arcadia.
Yes.
Good. That game's awesome.
But essentially it's all of these not Darkspawn. What do they call them in this game?
Schmarksmon.
Yeah.
Orc spawn.
Anyway, they're not Darkspawn. They're all the Hellhounds and skeletons.
But they come out of
roaming
these
around.
crystal doors that I think are important.
Yeah,
because I just closed one. and it's a
which
big
are
deal.
not portals to the Fade. And also your Dreamland, that's not the Fade.
That's not.
It's
the fade,
not
yeah.
the Fade. The Dreamland you walk around in Risen 3 is not the Fade. It's all this Dragon Age stuff that they put in here. You said you sleep a lot before in this game.
I
So
sleep. Well, yeah, but that's how you heal. It's like Fallout or Skyrim.
No. I thought you meant you sleep so that you can go into the Dreamland.
No,
and,
I
like,
hate
walk
when I
around.
go into the Dreamland.
Oh, okay.
That only happens. I don't know why that happens sometimes. When
Well-
you go to a bed and it gives you to choose like what time you want to wake up, that's real sleep. And then if it doesn't do that, then it puts you in the dream world where you walk around
And
and,
you
collect things until it warps you back out of no idea.
Or you talk to all these crazy ghost captains, which is what I've been doing.
that at least makes sense to me. It's like you talk to someone and then wake up. But the other half of the time in the dreamland, you walk around and then suddenly it just pops you back.
So what's insane is that we are playing two totally different games right now.
Yes.
And you know what? They both sound like they're not that great.
They're not that great compared to Fallout New Vegas.
Well, I heard that you did some modding, but real quick before we move on, I gotta ask you about the guilds and stuff, because there are there's two different very confusing aspects about joining
Okay.
allegiances.
And there are three. There are three guilds.
Okay. You've got, on one hand, you've got what kind of magic are you going to roll with?
Yes.
And
It's tied to which guild you join.
oh god,
It's
this
not
is
a
so
choice.
confusing.
It's not an extra choice.
Okay. You're right. So if you decide to remain a pirate, you can do the voodoo magic, which
Well,
is
you make
like,
it sound like a passive thing. You'd have to join their guild.
I know. I'm saying, like, I have a quest right now that I'm holding off on because it's like, oh, you can join our.
Oh,
we'll teach
you say
you.
remain
We'll
because-
teach you voodoo magic.
I think you're coming from Risen 2.
Yes.
So for me, I'm not thinking like, oh, I used to be a pirate or whatever, even though he clearly used
No,
to be
your
a pirate.
guy's a pirate.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to start with that.
I'm a demon hunter through and through, though.
Okay, gotcha. I got that you're, keeping it real
I don't even know if that's what they're
on
called.
the demon hunter front.
I think they're called that.
But you can, essentially there's like pirate magic.
Yeah.
There's like, so you can be a pirate, a mage, or a demon hunter.
No, you're not a mage. You're a mage protector. You're like a crusader.
You're like a Templar.
Yeah, you're like a mage guard. You guard the mages.
Well, in Dragon Age Origins, the Templars guarded the mages by killing them so no one else could.
Right. You're not a mage. You're a warrior that knows magic in all three cases.
Right.
You have a sword in your hand.
Right. But if you've been to
Gandalf.
the island of what are the not mages called?
I don't know. I've done a lot of quests there.
Anyway, so I'm
That's the place with the mines, right?
Yes. So I'm at the point where that guy's like, "Would you like to join? You can if you want." And all I have to do is say yes, and I'll be like that. I'll join them.
That's my second choice.
So I'm holding off on that.
First choice was no.
First choice was Demon Hunter.
But let me ask you,
I don't know if they're called Demon Hunters.
You know how you also have a main quest that tells you could, like, you should ally with the Inquisition, you should ally with the not mages, you should ally with the rebel pirates, you should ally with like your old pirate crew. You have there's like 5 different choices. So how do those all work together?
So
They don't.
They work like this.
Stop it, Rowan. You're not even playing.
Yes,
damn it.
and. So you join.
Yeah.
That's a yes and in Eurojank. This stuff doesn't work in fun ways.
That's not a yes and
not helpful. So you join. So you have a choice of joining one of those 3 guilds, and that affects what kind of magic.
What 3 guilds? What's the third?
The pirates, the non-mages, or the demon hunters.
Which pirates?
The pirate island, the voodoo. I don't know.
The island with your old crew, because
the big one. There's 3 big islands.
Right now, my quest log says like you could join the rebel pirates, and when I look on the description, it says, "Don't worry about finding this guy; he'll find you out there on the sea." And he hasn't found me.
That
yet.
sounds like a side quest. You don't have a boat.
But it's part of the main quest that you're talking about. It's one of the
right.
options.
I know. Listen, man. So you can join a guild, and that affects what kind of magic you have. In addition to that, the main story is you have to unite like all these different factions together.
Okay.
So that's what you have to go like befriend and unite
Okay,
and get them all on your side, which is separate than joining them.
Okay, so
that's the Dragon Age thing.
So that's right. You have to gather the Templars, gather the
yes.
Arl of Redcliffe, and my God, it is the exact same. They just put Dragon Age Origins into this game, including crafting and including all of that stuff. And you know what? It does not make it better. I'm going to say right now, I like Risen 2 better.
What?
I like Risen 2 better. Maybe it's just too much to handle. I don't think that any of these convoluted systems add anything to the game, and you can not do like 95% of them, and the game does not change. It's still like you can still beat it, you can still enjoy it as much as it is able to be enjoyed. It's like totally unnecessary.
Haven't done the first thing it tells you to do in the game
because I haven't. Here's why.
Just join a freaking thing.
Yeah,
man.
but
You have
here's
to
why.
pick one.
I want to talk to all the guilds before I pick one. In order to talk to all the guilds, I have to go to all the islands. But in order to go to all the islands, I got to finish what I'm doing on the island that I'm on first. But as
you don't have to visit them all. Just pick one and go to it and join them. Join the ones that you said. Join the non-mages.
You know what? I was interested in this rebel pirate guy who said he's going to find me, and I'm waiting for that to happen.
That's a side quest.
So I can't join. That's not a guild I can join.
No, there's the 3 islands. There's the one at the top is the demon hunters, and the one kind of on the left is the non-mages, and the one down below that is like the pirate island.
No, the one kind of down to the left is the pirate island.
Right. The voodoo. That's where you learn voodoo.
Yeah.
Yes, those are the 3 islands.
And you have so you pick one of those.
Yeah.
So it's demon hunter magic, not mage magic, or pirate voodoo magic.
Yes. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed the game after I joined a guild. Like
I hope so, because otherwise I have fucking nothing to look forward to.
I enjoyed that 10 hours. You know, it's just now.
Well, that's good. Then now I'll just stop being dumb about the way I'm holding out on this game, because it's obviously the way that I play, and the way it
frustrates
me when an RPG.
Jay, it's not your fault. It's
Thank
not Jay.
you.
It's not your fault.
Thank you. Thank you, because it frustrates me when an RPG presents you with all these options, and then it's like, actually, if you try to play the way you want to play, you're going to screw yourself over. Like, that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's so fake. The way that they make you think you have these options is just it's fake. It's a smoke screen, and I don't like it.
They don't do.
I don't appreciate
So
it.
if this were Skyrim, every single person you talk to, no, I'm sorry, every single person you walked by would go, "Hey, have you joined a guild yet? Hey, have you joined a guild yet? Hey, have
Don't
you
they
joined a
do
guild
that already in Skyrim, though?
That's what I'm saying. That's what this game should do. It should say like, "Hey,
Oh, I see.
you need to join a guild, dude."
Well, a
Like,
couple
right now,
All right,
and get a boat.
the way that's all right. So Skyrim over directs you, and this game under directs you, right? I hate that you can only have one quest marker active at a time. That bugs the
is
crap out of me.
ridiculous.
Bugs the crap out
That
of me.
sounds fantastic. Sign me up.
Good, Rowan. Why don't you play this game?
I'm not an idiot. Sorry, you guys haven't exactly sold it to me in the last half hour.
You guys want to hear about my new Vegas for 10 minutes before we take a break?
Spoiler.
Why I stopped playing Resident 3 and learned to love New Vegas?
and learn to love.
Remember, the first podcast that we did was like you complaining about New Vegas in rap form. Like,
Well-
that I did with you guys.
Well, today's the first episode where Rowan's not wearing his New Vegas shirt, so it's weirdly like, you guys didn't have the Jedi mind.
We didn't
meld
have
going.
the connection.
But you've been modding New Vegas.
Yeah, I got so. do
I
you guys,
actually spilled something on the New Vegas shirt.
do you, oh, what?
I know, right?
Doritos.
That's why we need you guys to go rate us on iTunes.
Yeah, Rowan needs a new Vegas shirt, baby.
I only have two
Needs a new Vegas shirt.
that I won in a contest on the internet for being funny.
Oh yeah, I installed this.
My jokes are too complex for you.
I've been trying to get this thing to work for a while now. It's like this ENB thing. Like there was that GTA ENB.
What's ENB?
It's like this crazy graphics mod, but it's not plug and play. Like you kind of got to get PC on it to get it to work.
Get on PC.
And I finally got it working, and a variant of it that I really dig for New Vegas. It looks really cool. Like I think I posted a screenshot. It looks
Screenshot. It looked like New Vegas had colors.
yeah. Well, it does. The first thing it gets rid of this. I have another mod that gets rid of like the color filter of New Vegas.
Oh,
So you get blue skies and stuff.
Yeah. So it gets rid of the dreariness that it imposes.
It does. It just It just makes it look super. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks good.
Cool.
And I got these mods for weather.
Let me
Sometimes
know.
It rains.
Is it up on the Nexus?
Yeah.
Stuff. I'll find all that because it turns out I got a computer that can do that now.
Yeah, this ENB thing. This is the only ENB thing I've ever gotten to work. It was not that hard. I had to drop files into folders.
Is that like Ernie and Bert?
I don't know what it stands for. It adds like weird shaders. I don't know what it does. It makes stuff look real.
Okay.
It makes bad games look good.
Cool.
But the cool thing is playing it again. I'm doing all this new stuff I never did before. Like I'm doing all the companion quests, which I never. Really did.
Some of those
What's her
companion.
name? Veronica.
Yeah.
Felicia
She's
Day.
rad.
I totally missed her the first time I played.
Because you walked under the overpass
Right.
instead of over. Yeah.
I'm with Rowan. I also totally
Me too.
missed her the first time
Me
I
too.
played. My second playthrough in New Vegas, I rolled with her for the whole game.
She'll punch a sucker in the face.
Yeah, she's rad. She's from the Brotherhood of Steel, right?
Right, and I never did that stuff with her before. I always did it without her.
She's cool because she's sort of like that character in any 90s anime. Like I'm thinking of I don't know, Vampire Hunter D or something. Who's like looks like the sort of fragile woman with the sort of muslin hood and
the giant robot hand.
cloth robe, and she's like, yeah, I can't really do much because I'm just a this person under the
like
bridge
Yoda
selling
in
wares.
episode 2.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden somebody tries to roll up on them, and
That never happened.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and she rolls up and punches him in the face.
She likes to use that robo fist thing. What is it called?
I don't know. It's awesome.
Power
though.
Fist.
The power fist. Yeah, she's a power fister.
So it's fun to do her quest. I would have never been able to do her quest without looking up what I needed to do to trigger her quest.
Yeah, you know who else's quests are really hard to get to the end of, I think, are that guy who's the doctor.
I don't have him yet.
The kid?
No.
I know who you're talking about.
The older guy, because there's something about his quest that involves, like, I don't know.
You can miss stuff. Like with this girl, I had to visit places for the first time to trigger dialogue from her.
Oh, wow. So if you don't go there with her for the first time, then it will never trigger.
No, because you have to get 3 of them out of a certain amount, and there are 3 that are repeatable. So I went back to those locations. But I would have never done that just playing the game. I would have never returned to those areas with her. So now I think I'm going to do boons next. And the first one I did was that drunk lady from the caravan.
Cass?
Yeah.
Cass is...
That's an easy one.
Cass is who I rolled with for most of the first game. And she's great until you get to that part where you are in outside of New Vegas, and you have that mission where you can turn her into the Van Graffs or whoever.
The gun runners.
The gun runners who have like a bounty on her head.
You know, that's like the story. That's like what they did to bring the story of the original Fallout 3 in.
Van Graffs?
Yeah, it's like that all that Van Graff stuff is like descended from the plans that they had for Fallout 3 in like 2000.
I didn't do their stuff this time. They turned on me pretty quick.
Well, one of
badass, too.
One of my favorite New Vegas memories, I don't remember which playthrough it was from, was bringing that quest to its endpoint and bringing Cass with me as if I was going to turn her in. But then when they asked, I was like, nope, screw you guys. And then the 2 of us just killed everyone in the room, which is hard.
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
That's been like the only really hard battle so far.
It's a really, really hard battle, but it's the kind of battle that when you finish it, you feel like you just finished a scene in a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, plus you're standing there with all this like loot. And unlike
the
Skyrim,
rewards are like,
unlike Skyrim, everything matters in this game. Like all loot matters. So even if you're just going to sell it or whatever.
Yeah, but just access to like 20 plasma rifles right there. It feels like, holy crap, I just won the lottery.
I never even got anything with, like, they just turned on. I don't even know what I did, but they just, as soon as I would go near there, they would start shooting me. So
yeah, there's a lot of faction stuff in the game that you can trigger without necessarily knowing it.
Oh, don't I know it?
But at least I know who I don't want, so it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
I want the boomers, I want the NCR, I want the Brotherhood.
The boomers.
Yeah.
I like that. The boomers are.
Aren't they called the boomers?
They are called the boomers, but I like that it's a little bit of a pun. It's like because they
use explosives.
Well, I think it's a nod to the idea that when the game came out, like baby boomers are an older generation. So when you hear boomers, it makes us think of an older generation, and the majority of the boomers are like, it's a lot of older military people,
sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I like that.
So that's Fallout 3. We talked about Fallout 3 enough, but anyway.
No, that's New Vegas, actually.
I'm sorry, New Vegas. It's still super good, and I like playing it way more than Risen 3.
Yeah.
That's my review of Risen 3.
Now I'm worried about going back and playing New Vegas instead of Risen 3.
There's some DLC I haven't done yet.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, there's quests I haven't done. I'm finding new quests.
The DLC is best done in a certain order.
Yeah, well...
I'm about halfway through it, but I never finished it.
And if you want to know what that order is, KWTF listeners...
Ooh, nice hook.
Go to joshjshow.com or unwinnable.com/joshandjshow. The URL for Josh and Jay, I just send it over to the other one.
I saw that.
So.
There's no way to get to the archive now.
I'm going to find a solution to that. Okay. I have not yet.
We will figure it out.
Well, you can always get the last 50 episodes on iTunes, which you should go to and give us a review. KWTF listeners, goodbye. Thank you for listening.
Unwinnable.com, where video games, comics, and pulp culture is what is on our minds. Looking for an analog feel in a digital world? Follow the exploits of the Unwinnable staff through their voices and words every day at Unwinnable.com. Be sure to tune into the Unwinnable Broadcast Network for Unlistenable, the official Unwinnable podcast, Unmixable, our series of mixtapes, and more. Unwinnable. It's good for your brain.
All I'm saying is that games are inherently based on experiences, right? That's what makes them different from every other kind of media, is that you are literally like experiencing this media by And
Well, you experience
Like,
all
Welcome
the other
back
ones.
to the Josh and Jay show, already in progress.
but I mean, like
But it's proactive. Like you interact with it,
your interaction guides propels the experience,
and you can
one
win
way or another, right?
Right. Well, video games. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So how could that be separated from the experiencer? How, like, it inherently cannot be an unbiased
these people
thing.
that want this completely objective?
Yeah, it's impossible.
Well, yeah, I know, but I also,
And it's dumb to want that, I think.
sure, like technically, but also I think game critics write in different ways, and I think some put themselves into it Hunter S. Thompson style a little more than others. They always meld their own outside of game experience into the review of the game, and then other ones just are like, here's the facts, like here's how many guilds there are, here's how many things, and there's room for all this stuff.
Totally.
You can read whatever you want, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I don't understand why the backlash to something because it involves any sort of
It has to be
personal
misogyny.
input.
It has to be misogyny because there's no other single factor with all this hate, right? Like
you're right. If you're looking for a common denominator,
why this Twine game? Lots of games got lots of attention for lots of different reasons. Lots of people sleeping with each other. Why this specific one? You know,
right?
It's like there's
because
so
it was
many...
the right person to scapegoat, and it was the
Right.
right thing. Like it's easy to attack from that perspective.
Well, it's because Zoe put it on Steam at like the height of Greenlight being used as the defense of true gamers and true games against non-games. So they turned her into the idealized idea of the person destroying
But it
real
has
games.
to be misogyny because why? Who's that
Well,
hurting?
yes.
Right.
Who cares? Like, I mean,
Yeah, guess what? Just ignore it. When you see it on the Steam page, or if you see it, obviously you're not going to try to search it out, but you can just be like, oh, this is just one of 3,000 other Steam games I'm going to ignore because they're... Right?
Yeah. And some games, I mean, if you make a game and your friend works for a popular site and he does a write-up about that game, that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
And some games got popular because of connections and are bad. Some games got popular because of connections are good. Some games are really good and never had that advantage. Like, there's many different ways games rise to the top.
The thing is that I think the man babies don't understand or don't want to understand is that we all are in the whole game thing because we like games. So we want to have more better games. Like, this is our goal. Some of us are doing it in press. Some of us are doing it in development. Some of us do it in both. But the end result is we want to have gooder games. Video games.
No matter what you think about... This is the most inside baseball topic I think we've ever had.
I think also it's really exciting because we gave it no introduction.
Right.
We just turned the mics
Yeah, you
on.
either
after
know
our
we're
Welcome,
talking
break
welcome back to
conversation.
the podcast. Yeah.
But, like, no matter how you slice it, and I'm not a particular fan of the game that sparked all this, but a game about depression is pretty interesting, and I've never heard of one before, and, you know, like... Also, didn't this all start with some Jilted Lovers stupid blog?
That's not where it started initially when she tried to put it on Greenlight. And
But that kind of was the fire.
yeah, but
on
then 2 weeks ago she had an ex go to 4chan because 4chan is a really good place to talk about, you know, what you think your ex did wrong.
Yeah, very reasonable.
Especially when your ex is someone who has already been the target of a lot of internet hate. So her ex went to 4chan and just decided to dump all of his baggage out there.
I read that blog. I was like, dude, you're not 16, dude. Like, you need to relax and move on, buddy.
Yeah.
He's like a cutter or something, you know? I'm just like, dude, you need to...
He was
put the
on
cure
Twitter
down.
saying, the result of this was all pretty good. Like, this is what he wanted when he posted it on 4chan. And B, he was surprised that Twitter was not a great place for calm and reasonable discussion on the subject.
Like his calm and reasonable blog post.
I mean, so it was like anytime you see someone who's like, oh man, I would love to discuss this thing, but Twitter just really isn't the place.
She's just not that into you, dude.
If we're playing apples to apples and somebody plays the calm or reasonable card, and I have 3,000 cards in my hand and Twitter is one of them, it's the last one I'm playing. So
I mean, I think that the last one you're playing is this dude.
right.
Last one you're playing is Jilted 4chan X.
It's ridiculous too, and it also the reaction from the people being targeted. I mean, some people are like definitely legitimately being harassed, and it's scary, and that's awful.
Yeah, that is.
But
that
there's
is
also
messed up. That
there's
is like,
also a whole reaction to it that's just, I swear to God, feeding this whole thing. That's
Yeah.
like posting more blogs about it, posting more, just getting more clicks, and it's just like, stop.
Well, one of the more interesting notes that I saw people tweeting about was, I don't even know who it was. It was like a retweet of a retweeter or whatever. But it was somebody who was like a dog trainer, and they're like, this is very...
that dude who stole my bit?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Rowan,
Why
Rowan,
don't you
tell
talk
it.
about... No,
Lawyer up, bitch.
I'm just saying that it was... however I saw it, might have been from you, Rowan.
No,
Might have
no,
gone
it's-
around the world and gotten back to me.
He had the same idea. I've just been like, as a general thing, I linked people to the idea of the extinction burst, which is in evolutionary psychology, the idea that... Not evolutionary psychology,
My
that's
boy's
bullshit.
wicked smart.
Behavioral psychology.
In evolutionary theory, the idea that a behavior that is being stamped out, I guess it's just sort of regular behavioral psychology, well, whatever. A behavior that's being stamped out, whatever is trying to utilize that behavior will like double down on that behavior. So, a dog who thinks that it's going to get a treat or something by begging, and the person doesn't want it to beg, that dog is going to beg a hell of a lot more when it stops getting the treats, not the tweets, although it could be the tweets.
Could be the tweets.
So
There's- basically there is a spike in the unwanted behavior right before it is snuffed out.
That's like the beheading of journalists right after we decided to go over there and bomb the shit out of them.
pretty much exactly like that, yes. I don't see any way that
Wow.
parallel would not be correct in every possible.
Wow. Anyway, this guy was talking about training dogs, and then someone else chimed in that said that they were what do you call they were a horse trainer, and said that is exactly how he like breaks horses or something. So I guess all these babies are just like horses that are given their like most energetic bucks before they're tamed.
Well, I mean, they're just like angry, disenfranchised basement dwellers, right? And they found a way to be angry in public, and they're getting
like
responses back.
I think like the
They're getting
4chan
feedback.
batch of that are people who have a bunch of time on their hands and are going out and harassing, creating dozens of new Twitter accounts after they get reported and blocked. I think there's also a very small group of people that includes Firefly actors and YouTube personalities who are just straight up misogynists, and how much their fans can do will depend on like how much time and energy they have. But there's another thing about the extinction burst is that not everything goes through it, or not everything succeeds at like having the behavior stamped out. Some of them will just go through it forever, and so
Rage
forever. There's going to be horrible man babies saying these things for a while, but if you want to look at the horrific displays of sexism as something that indicates that these people are losing, like that's a pretty reasonable position to take, and hope that they don't ruin too many more people's lives.
Well, these kids they have to be kids.
Unfortunately,
I think a lot of the 4chan harassers are, but I think there is a notable group. I don't know how big that notable
I mentioned the
group
terrorist
is,
thing, and that was like flippant or whatever, but it's like because these 4chan people are getting the response they want. Like they're getting press. Like they kick the beehive, and the bees are everywhere, and it's exactly what they wanted to have happen.
I think it's like, to some extent, yes. Like it gives them for the crew that's looking for something to do.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
I don't think that's all of them, though. I think there's a decent chunk that is, it's hard to tell exactly, but there's a decent chunk that actually thinks that this is like a reasonable cause, that driving women out of games is actually like a good thing to do. And like I think that those people are getting knocked out, and then the 4chan people will eventually, dissolve away. Have to go back to school in a couple weeks. But I mean, I guess we'll see.
Oh, maybe that's why this was like the last week before school started.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
that...
of raging against the homework.
Yeah, this is like, okay, I've been bored all summer. And there's a whole community building aspect of it. I went to go see a presentation that Anita Sarkeesian made at GDC about her harassers, and she talked about like how they turned it into like a social game, not like a Facebook game, but like a game where they...
Which woman being harassed are we talking about?
Anita.
Okay.
The feminist frequency woman.
Right.
This was her presentation. I don't know if Zoe, believes in that as well, but Anita creating a new video in the past week also, made the baby scream. But like she was talking about like how there was research that indicated that basically they did this in order to create a community and feel like part of a community.
Yeah, no, it's obvious that anybody who would come from a place of this much hate is super lonely, right?
The hate part is the part that like throws me for a loop. It's
well, I was actually talking about this on Twitter with like Jen Frank the other night, and I feel bad because I was like half asleep and passing out at the time, but I wanted to make a point to them, to whoever she was talking with, about the way that they view misogyny, and I just chimed in, which was sort of agreeing with what Jen was suggesting, which is that I always viewed it as like, it's like a preemptive strike. You're like, I am rejecting this group before they can reject me. And that can only come from a place where you are like so not confident with yourself and have so much self-loathing that like you can't imagine somebody else, like being interested or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you that
there's a part of this though that I think is like a reaction to a reaction. But
think about being in that position, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of people who feel just like you do, which is essentially lonely,
right?
And then all of a sudden you guys having this in common means you're not lonely anymore. Like it's a vacuum that is being filled by other people who are like, yeah, we are all miserable, and fuck all these other people.
Right.
And it
under the
like,
guise
it
of
boosts
being
that
labeling
signal.
yourself a nice guy.
Oh
too,
yeah, I mean, whatever they want to say to rationalize it, it could be anything. It could be that you're saving video games, any of those things are just excuses.
Well, that's what I want to talk about, the saving video games part. Like, I can empathize with the reaction there a little bit. Like, when
I absolutely empathize with that position. My point was how it was like totally sad.
Right.
So
right.
I think it's really sincerely like it's sad.
Like, how the Assassin's Creed, everybody like freaked out on Assassin's Creed because there wasn't a girl protagonist in the game, or female protagonist option
in the co-op.
Right. And so everyone, this is always, again, a real small group, but like,
well, it was some really stupid stuff that the developer said. Like,
right, but if you go to a BART station and ask everyone there what we're talking about, none of them know. So
right.
So BART's the train in the Bay Area. I can empathize with feeling like, oh, I don't want developers afraid to make the game they want to make because of a social outcry, any more than I want a developer afraid to put a female protagonist in for fear that it's not going to make as much money. But I don't want thought police. Like, I don't want creative police. I want you to vote with your dollar. I want you to buy interesting games. And luckily, I'm seeing like that Depression Quest game, like Gone Home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing all these interesting games because people are now going on their PC and going, hey, I can get it.
You're absolutely right. I was just going to say that seeing Depression Quest on Steam, like, guess what? If you hate that game, don't buy it on Steam. Just ignore it. And then if the game gets ignored enough, then it won't become popular and it won't become part of the zeitgeist. But obviously, enough people are acknowledging that this is something.
It's doing it again.
That this is something worthwhile. Enough people are acknowledging that this is something worthwhile, and there's a small group of people who, for some reason, can't handle other people's acknowledgement of this. They're like,
right.
But oh my God, the world is crazy.
The thing is, Josh, like what you're saying about the you don't want to have people like not make the games they want to make.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't seem to actually be happening. Like
no, of course not.
I mean, it's like,
but
it's like if this,
but they have to come out and say all this like here. Okay, fine. But it doesn't change anything. But what it does change is I have to see all these stupid press releases of these people putting their foots in their mouth, like trying to go, oh well,
right.
It was too hard to make a like.
It's all
just
posturing
because
bullshit.
of this like pressure from Twitter, and also if you do,
I mean, I think showing stupid people being stupid is a good thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, also like say like, oh, I really wish there was a one protagonist, but that also felt like there was some kind of like overreaction and hatred being thrown at Ubisoft that I felt was like. Well, they weren't death threats, but at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of like an overreaction on that end is just people being angry about it on Twitter for a day or two, as opposed to people, forcing people out of their houses.
But all right, just to play devil's advocate for a second, and I
don't know who's playing devil's advocate.
No, I was right. I'm going to play devil's advocate to your devil's advocate. Right. But let's say that. Ubisoft decided that the next Assassin's Creed was going to be all female protagonists, so that right their budget could only afford one gender's animation.
right. We know that's how the games are made. So
they decide that hey, every single Assassin's Creed game has had men. Let's make this one.
You know they have done that, right?
Assassin's
Creed Liberation.
Yeah, right. That was the best-selling one, right, Rowan?
It most popular one. The best.
Is that your point?
No, it's not my point. No, it's not. That is not my point at all. My point is that if they decided to do that, there would probably be a crazy backlash of the kind of people that we've been describing as well.
Yeah, they're worse.
So I'm saying
I like the people that said it has to have a girl better than the people that says it can't.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I don't like either of these groups, but I prefer the feminists to the misogynists.
Oh, I mean, there's no.
Thanks, Josh.
There's no question. But
on desert island.
But I guess the way I'm saying is that, and I know it sounds silly to use the example of gendered animations as some sort of like obstacle that they somehow a giant like. Huge developer like Ubisoft can't get over, but apparently they only have the resources
and they're 9 studios
for one gender's animation. So
4 Assassin's Creed games a year.
So assuming that literally we can't get past the idea that there can only be one gender of protagonist. I mean, I don't hold that against them if that's the decision that they make because it's for whatever. I mean, it's unfortunate, and I will admit that I personally would probably enjoy an Assassin's Creed game that did have a female protagonist because it would feel fresher to me. And I think that if there's any series that needs things injected into it to feel fresh, that it is Assassin's Creed.
More collectibles.
But I
mean, better women collectibles.
You're right. There are probably more. Like, I don't think that people went out of their way to exclude women in that situation so much as that if it I mean,
that was the story they wanted to
well,
we're talking about Assassin's Creed, but let's assume again for the sake of devil's advocate that they have this like really creative guy writing this story and he's like, but this is the story. I have to tell these 4 guys this story. Like, that's what I mean. I don't want that to get shut down.
I suppose in a weird that's like going a really long way around to say that I agree with you in the sense that if I play this game and I'm playing with multiple protagonists and them all being men somehow contributes to the game being more cohesive and a better experience.
Or it's just what they want to do.
Then cool.
It's just what they want to do, right?
But I would no. But I would hope that the reason they want to do it is because it makes a better game. If the reason that they want to do it is not because it makes a better game and just because they want to represent men, then no, I don't agree with that.
The slippery slope.
See the thing is that you're basically going through all the excuses in a row. Like the old excuse, and this is why Ubisoft got made fun of so much, the old excuse from 10 years ago was we don't have the time and the money to do the animation. Hold on.
I mean, from 10 weeks ago.
I'm not making that argument.
No, I know you're not making that argument.
Yeah, I'm
but
not
then the
making that
next argument that they made is the GTA argument.
Okay, you
which
said I
is,
was going through all this.
Yeah, you said that.
you both are.
No,
The next argument is that we're trying to tell a story about men. This is what GTA 4 said. Or 5, whichever. How many GTAs are there?
5.
Yeah.
1 through 5.
With 3 threes.
All right.
3 threes, yeah.
But this is the argument that GTA 5 made was, yeah, they're all men, but we just happen to be telling a story about masculinity.
And like, for the record, I'm not making that argument. I don't know how they make their choices over there.
That's sort of
but what I'm getting at is, like, at some point in this development process, they've decided that that's a perfectly legitimate point to make. And that is consistently used by the people making the games to make that. It's like, we would like to be more diverse, except we just happen to always be choosing this one thing.
The slippery slope with that argument is, hey, every business owner should be allowed to have whoever he wants in there. If he doesn't want black people to go in, that's fine. Like, at some point, the government does need to step in and go, you gotta have some girls in your game.
So now we're socializing video games.
Well, I'm saying, like, it's a complex issue, and that's sort of the point of this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that it's complex. It's not like, fuck you, this is what you have to do.
But I think what Rowan was missing about our last conversation was how we were not trying to dwell on whether or not those excuses were legitimate. We were trying to look at them as if, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe, okay, in some magical world, those excuses are legitimate. Even then, is it valid? Even then, that was the point of our conversation.
All right, I'm not kicking you guys out of the feminist club.
It was if they only had the resources for one gender.
That's the old argument.
And they chose
again. I'm taking it's taking them at their word and saying, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Now you give me a game that says that these characters have to be male, and why does that make it better? Why does that make it the best version of the game? And if you don't have a good answer for that, then fuck you, right? Yeah. That's how I feel.
Except never fuck you, right? Like,
no.
Yes, and.
I mean,
fuck you, yes,
fuck
and.
you, yes, and. Fuck you, and fuck everyone. Fuck all kinds of people.
Like, oh, here's my article. I wish they had girls in this game, but they don't. I'm not going to buy it. And maybe let's have a podcast and talk about it. But never like.
But don't you know that is our version of fuck you?
You should go find the CEO of Ubisoft and park in front of his house with a sniper rifle.
Well, but you're missing the point. Is that is our fuck you? Is going on the podcast and being like, this game is dumb, and the fact that you made a big deal about it being this way and having to be this way is stupid because it's not even.
It's also dumb because video games do have girls in them.
To take this back full circle,
they do. It's like the only game without a girl in it.
It's worth bearing in mind that the woman who created the original Assassin's Creed was driven out of gaming alongside a huge harassment campaign, including pornographic comics and so on, about how she was giving sexual favors to men in order to get good press for her game. So,
and that's where we're at. That's fucking gross, dude.
Yeah. I saw that comic. I've missed the ones recently, but I had seen that comment and I was like, holy shit, you people are fucking assholes.
I mean, could you imagine if there were droves of kids that were like making pornos of like John Carmack, and they're like, we want to see fuck a demon in the cartoon and stuff. Like, would that guy want to still make video games and stuff? You know what I mean? Like, we want to see a demon eat your dick off. Would that encourage him to make like a new Doom?
I think that no.
That's a good question, Jay, but we're going to go with no.
That's awful, but yeah, there's a certain amount of risk, especially
like, can't you just be like, I don't like it?
Well, also,
if you can be totally prejudiced and dumb and be like, oh, a girl made this? Gross. But, I mean, to take it not just another step, but to that step, that's like psychological disorder tier, like, shit going on.
I remember seeing a comment from someone about Halo 4 when it was like introduced at E3 or something, and
More like Halo Boar.
Good point, but the lead developer for Halo 4 was her name is Kiki Wolfskill or something.
Burn.
Like the greatest name in the history of video
She
games.
should die and get raped.
What Kiki
Oh, sorry.
Wolf's
I'm
Killer?
getting ahead of myself. What happened?
That wasn't funny.
No.
We're gonna edit that out. No, we're gonna make that the title of the podcast.
She should die and get raped. Episode 91.
So just so Josh remembers that. Yeah. Anyway, she's on stage at E3 or whatever, and she's introducing the game. And I see see this comment, like this was being retweeted around because it's like a perfect example of dumbass gamer broness. And the dude is like, yeah, what she was saying about Halo is pretty good, and like she seems smart and like she's interested in stuff. But every time I see her on stage, I just can't help but think that this is the casualification of Halo. It's like, why on earth would you just can't help thinking that because a woman is on stage talking about a game? Like, where is your any kind of self-examination on the subject of whether you think a woman can make a game or not?
There should be mandatory therapy for when you're 16, like 1 year, like how in Israel you have to join the army. In America, 1 year mandatory therapy for every 16-year-old.
I agree. I think that is a phenomenal idea, actually.
So misogynists suck. Was this segment?
Well, yeah, but it just, I mean, hating stuff to the point where you take this sort of disgusting action. I mean, we all hate stuff.
Yeah,
we
but you don't
all
go
hate stuff.
Personal.
I hate the Battlestar Galactica finale, but I have never threatened Ronald Moore.
That's what I'm saying.
There was a point in Risen 3.
Look,
when I was like Anakin Skywalker at the end of episode 3.
Speaking of things that we hate and want to
the worst
threaten people.
I mean, the worst. So the worst part about it is that by engaging with all of these creators in such an insanely violent and destructive way, like they are ruining their own medium they have claimed for themselves.
We're losing. So
in the name of saving it, it's very much a religious war.
When we were kids, we didn't have Twitter and the internet, and we couldn't talk to game creators. And now we live in a time when we have so much access. They're showing us how they're making games. We're kickstarting games. They're talking to us, and these people are blowing it. All these game creators are going to disappear.
Yeah,
because they're getting death threats.
Or alternately, the star of Firefly is insulting someone that we met at the Unwinnable party.
I think that should be the title of the show because that's
like,
keeps coming up.
I don't think that was in the part we recorded.
Oh, okay. I never saw Firefly.
What?
You like the cowboy space thing?
You like Star Wars and he never saw Firefly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually
Jay?
Josh. I saw the movie, whatever it was called,
Serenity.
Yeah, that's
it. Was pretty good. I don't think it was like the best example, but like Star Wars.
Jay, you like the Pixies, but you never saw Firefly?
No, like Star Wars
I'm
is
sorry,
like
Pixies.
Star Wars is straight out of the Western mode of storytelling.
What?
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I know about Star Wars.
You know that there's some Western influences?
Yeah.
What would you say if someone told you there's a TV show where Han Solo is the star and he flies around space and gets in adventures?
Hasn't the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy usurped that nerd hero as the new nerd hero?
Well,
Nathan Fillion?
Nathan Fillion.
He was the old nerd hero, and now
Chris Pratt.
Time will tell if Chris Pratt will.
But he's just getting more popular. Like, did you see him do Eminem on that radio show?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, he did all of Forget About Dre verbatim.
No, I didn't.
Was killer.
I don't. But I've always liked that guy. I mean, I've Andy from
Parks and
Rec is a fantastic.
I've never seen that.
He was also in something before that, and
I think it was in the OC or one of the teen drama shows.
He was
but he was like a fat, goofy guy, right?
Yeah,
and then he got ripped.
Yeah, he was on. He was on One Tree Hill.
Okay.
No, not One Tree Hill. Gilmore Girls. That was it. Gilmore Girls. Sorry, my wife watches Gilmore Girls.
If you're one of these 4chan harassers and you're listening to this, dude, just like get ripped and learn Eminem raps. Everyone will like you.
I saw a great Tumblr post. We're just going to talk about animated GIFs we've seen. Okay.
I saw a really good. Oh, I can't say
that was.
It's got words you can't say on.
But it was like someone was interviewing Chris Pratt, being like, "So, do you know about this section of Marvel fandom that does slash fic for the heroes?" And she's like, she explained what slash fic was, what fan fiction about men sleeping with each other, and he was like, "So, like me and Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are having sex with each other in these stories?" And she was like, "Yep," and he was like, "Cool."
Yeah, that seems like he's one of those guys who, when I saw that movie, by the way, I enjoyed that movie a lot. I think I saw it since our last episode, and it's by far my favorite Marvel movie that's come out. I didn't really like the Avengers that much. There were none of the other movies since like maybe the first Iron Man have really been that great for me. But this movie was so good, and part of the reason why I liked it is because he was like at least 50 to 60% himself in the movie. Or at least the himself that I view from. I was like, if that's Andy from Parks and Rec, I'm sold. Like if that was canon, that Andy from Parks and Rec was kidnapped.
You watched Community, right? Mm-hmm. So Parks and Rec is like entwined with Community as like the big new cultural.
Did Dan Harmon make it?
Dan Harmon did not make it, but they're like the smart sitcoms on NBC.
It's Leslie Knope. What? Oh my God! Why can't I think
Amy
of her?
Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
Well, she's the star.
No, I know what it is.
But didn't she help create it?
I'm sure she helped somewhat. The creators came from The Office, I think.
Okay. Is that the one? Yeah. Is like writers from The Office, right?
Yeah. So like
Nick Offerman. Offerman, is that the same?
Yeah.
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman is. Yeah,
people love that dude.
He brought back the what's his name's mustache.
I'm watching a show that's really funny that I've never seen before.
DC.
Firefly?
No, it's got like these 3 young dudes that have a job together.
That sounds like a sitcom.
Workaholics, maybe?
Oh yeah,
that's the name of a show.
That show's real good.
Funny.
Yeah, that show's real funny.
If you decide to watch Parks and Rec, which I highly recommend, especially if you're a Chris Pratt fan,
I don't have time.
These episodes are 22 minutes long and on Netflix. Start with season 2. Season 1's a little meh. But
I could see though why you would like Workaholics, because every week when I come in to podcast with you guys, I'm like, in my head, it's an episode of Workaholics that we're gonna produce.
Now it is. Those dudes make that show.
I know.
Oh, but that also, like, because I'm old now, I'm like, oh God, everybody's done something with their life except me. Because these guys look like they're 20.
Yeah, I know, it sucks.
And their show's rad.
Fuck those guys so bad.
Have you watched Broad City?
No, Rowan.
Oh, Broad City. I've seen that. That show's all right.
I've seen The West Wing and Workaholics.
And that murder show that you
Channel.
Yeah, the Murder Channel show.
Oh, the alien, not Alien
Discovery.
Autopsy, but
I got I set up my Xbox to go straight to Investigation Discovery when I turn it on now.
all right. And is that the Alien show?
No.
What was the Alien investigation show?
What, Ancient Aliens?
Ancient Aliens. Okay.
Von Donnegut? Oh, he wrote the Chariots of the Gods?
You were super into that for a minute. The other day when I went to the Whole Foods here by my place, and I grabbed a bottle of wine to bring home. There's this bottle of wine that my wife and I like that has a little schwa on the cap.
Wait,
and
you drink wine? I thought you only drank whiskey and beer.
Dude, I drink everything. I drink gin, I drink wine, I drink whiskey,
all the food
I drink
groups?
beer, all four food
Tequila
groups.
shots?
No, gin, whiskey, wine, and beer.
We should
Those
do
are the
Tequila
4.
Shot podcast.
Maybe someday.
Jay's like a walking Chumbawamba song.
I got it. I took a whiskey drink. But at the Whole Foods, the guy ringing me up saw the bottle, and it's got a little it's like a little house front picture on the label, like you would see on any generic wine bottle, except it's got a little alien spaceship in the corner.
Ancient alien up there
that shines a little like strobe light down, and then on the cap there's a little schwa symbol.
What's schwa? You keep saying schwa.
The alien head.
Oh, okay.
Just like
They're called schwas?
The Greys?
I thought they were called Greys.
Greys. Well, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Sectoids?
What is schwa from? That's not X-Files.
It's from the 90s, dude.
Oh,
Schwa is like a total... I don't know. It used to be an underground zine about like alien conspiracy theory called Schwa.
Midwest thing. Like
I don't think so.
Hey, Midwestern listeners, do you call aliens schwas?
No.
On the West Coast we call them grays.
No, This is like a. This is like a. It's like a pop soda thing.
It sounds like
Remember
a
when
surfer
they-
thing, like schwa, brah.
Remember when on
Schwa,
XCOM?
brah, that's the title of our
Dude, it's like
episode.
schwa, brah. And then, like, did you see a schwa? No, I saw a squatch.
No, look, schwa is just the name of that little alien symbol.
Looks like a guitar pick with the owl eyes.
We both probably have guitar picks with those little eyes on it. But yes, that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. And the guy that was ringing me up was like, "Oh, this is my favorite label in the whole place." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Actually, this is kind of nerdy, but we like to drink this while we watch the X-Files."
That's awesome.
And the guy was like, "That's rad. Do you watch Ancient Aliens?" He's like, "Because that's my favorite show." He's like, "By the way, I've never tasted this wine. I only like it because there's an alien on the label."
Was he the dude too? Like the meme guy? Oh.
No, he wasn't.
I always see pictures of that guy. Have you Googled that guy? Yeah, exactly, Rowan. Partying.
Hold on.
In like New Orleans. He must live in New Orleans.
What's Rowan's making a face?
He's doing the guy.
The meme of the Ancient Aliens guy is like,
It must be
but
aliens.
his hair is
yeah.
all puffy.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't get the hair puffy with the woo. Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god. Do you guys still want to talk about Walking Dead?
I forgot that we were doing a podcast. We were really we were gonna talk about The Walking Dead, but
Jay's just flying through space
Rowan,
right now.
Rowan hasn't even played the 4th episode yet, so maybe we'll
Did
just
you
hold
guys
off for
know that
next
having a
time.
job is fucking hard?
Wow, Rowan, welcome to the working world.
Yeah, it sucks super bad.
Except that I'm freelancing from home, so I don't even get to come home and take my jacket off and be like, "I'm home, honey. I'm just gonna sit in front of my computer and play The Walking Dead now."
You just pull your sweatpants off and throw them over the chair.
I'm like, no, I put the pants on to get the mail, and then I take the pants off for the rest of the day while I work.
Oh, so you put the pants on when you get home. It's like it's like opposite of coming home.
Right.
You're like, oh, it's the end of the day. Time to put clothes on instead
Pretty
of take
much,
clothes
yeah.
off.
I was like, oh god, I have to go to this podcast for fun and put clothes on. And
Yeah. All right.
For fun, man.
Well,
I do it for fun.
I think that's probably a good spot to close out on. We got into some politics today. I'm proud of us.
I'm so proud.
I mean,
so very
I don't know
we
if that's
turned
gonna.
Josh into a legit feminist. He's going to be on the social justice warrior list.
Yeah, I
next.
mean, I don't know if that translates into our worst episode yet. Or
Don't label me, man.
or our best, but we'll let the market decide.
Let
on
the
Josh.
schwas decide.
We'll let the schwas decide.
we can. They can pay with their iTunes ratings.
Well, next time, Rowan, you're gonna play some Walking Dead, and we need to talk about Clem because it's been too long.
I know, right?
You put that on just for this episode, right?
Clem will be there next time.
Do you guys have Twitter on your phone?
Yes.
That's the only way I use Twitter.
I can't get that thing to stop giving me the notifications like so and Rowan Kaiser and someone else just did something that has nothing to do with you. Who gives a fuck? Like,
I don't get those anymore.
I mean, I use a different program than the regular Twitter thing, and I just shut down all the notifications.
I
for
think your
regular
problem
Twitter.
is you need to follow at Josh and Jay Show, at Joshua Doan, at Jay Pullman, at Rowan Kaiser, and if you do that, they'll go away.
Send us an email and we'll talk about whatever you want.
Josh and Jay Show at unwinnable.com.
That's unwinnable.com/Josh and Jay Show or joshandjayshow.com for more episodes.
Thanks, everyone.